allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please have a roll call, Jason.
Yes, Council President McIrvin.
Here.
Councilmember Prince.
Here.
Councilmember Perez.
Here.
Councilmember Vaughn. Councilmember Albertson.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera.
Here.
Councilmember O'Halloran. Roll call, Mr. Mayor, 2 absent.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember McGurven.
I move we excuse the 2 absent council members.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President McGurven, second by Councilmember Prince, that we excuse the 2 absent council members. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. First up is the administrative report.
All right. Good evening, everyone. The next pop-up lunch event, sponsored by the Equity Housing and Human Services Department and the Emergency Feeding Program, will be held Tuesday, August 16th from 12 to 1:30 p.m. at Liberty Park. Lunch, personal hygiene kits, and socks will be available to those with food insecurities and/or who are unsheltered. Renton History Museum is adding Tuesdays back into their schedule with open hours Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mask required hours are on Tuesday, 10 a.m. to noon, for the benefit of those who prefer to wear masks. Masks are currently encouraged at other times until further notice. Current temporary exhibits are With This Ring, A History of Marriage in Renton and Ukraine, Carpathian Mountain Villages, a collection of photographs by Anna Mia Davidson. The driving range at Maplewood Golf Course will be closed starting Tuesday, August 23rd through Monday, September 5th for perimeter netting replacement. The project is scheduled to take no more than 14 days, but if completed sooner, notifications will be sent that the driving range is reopened. Information about preventative street maintenance, traffic impact projects, and road closures happening this week can be found at rentonwa.gov/traffic. All projects are weather permitting, unless otherwise noted. Streets will always remain open.
Okay, next up is audience comment. We have 2 people signed up tonight. When your name is called, please step up to the podium and give your name, city of residence, and you have 3 minutes. And first up is Diane Dobson.
Clarification, it's 3 minutes, not 5.
3.
Thank you very much. I'm Diane Dobson. I'm the CEO of the Renton Chamber of Commerce. I'm a founding board member of the Renton Downtown Partnership. I serve on the executive board with the North Renton Neighborhood Association. I'm a lifelong resident. I serve on 25 different boards and commissions that benefit the Renton area. And I tell you this because I have the experience, perspective, and feedback from a plethora of directions in our community, including those that are unhoused. And in Renton, we have a problem, and we're experiencing a crisis. Life, housing, crime, opioids, disregard for human life. And if you talk to the unhoused right now, many will say the problem's compounded when the shelter or the de-intensification facility came to Renton as it brought in unhoused from all over Tacoma to Seattle. And you cleared it out in the Red Lion while weather was nice, and lots of people elected to not take a transfer to a new location, instead taking up residency on the streets of Renton. And you now have turf wars increasing amongst the homeless at an alarming rate. And that's coming from the people that are on the streets. And you saw that pinnacle just recently at 321 Wells, where there was an execution-style homicide. This is not a hyped up narrative from King County pretending all's well and our hypotheses are nonsense. And this, as with many of the other projections and reports brought forward to the council by the Chamber of Impact of the de-intensification facility, is another unintended consequence of King County's actions upon our city of Renton. To that end, has the city approached King County on an exit survey to gauge the potential real numbers of new Renton residents that elected to not transfer shelters? Have you held the county accountable, as there are costs associated to a community of a per person homeless cost? King County reports costs range from $2,000 to $8,000 per month per person. That's $24,000 to $99,000 per person we're now absorbing onto our streets of Renton. Sociologists call what's happening now a pathological altruism, or altruism in which attempts to promote the welfare of others instead results in unanticipated harm. The county's compassion campaign has devolved into permissiveness, enablement, crime, and disorder on our streets in Renton. Businesses and residents have increasing complaints about encampments, theft, drugs, sexual assault, prostitution, needles, feces. Yet prosecutors have dropped thousands of misdemeanor cases and police receive mixed signals on arresting people for homelessness-related offenses. After a wonderful weekend of events downtown, early Sunday morning, I received a call from police that a stabbing had occurred at the chamber. The stabbing resulted in stopping my daily process, dealing with police, dealing with our security company, and cleaning blood off of our walls and patio at the chamber. The victim, who prior to being stabbed was tucked into a corner of our chamber property doing drugs with another known unhoused individual, was transported to Harborview, and Renton Police Department were successful in their quick apprehension and arrest of the subject. So the threat was removed in this instant. But was it? In North Renton, neighbors have been plagued for months with a continued crime-ridden house that had a revolving door of unhoused, stabbings, theft, nuisance, and blight, which again resulted in Pinnacle 2 weeks ago with an execution-style homicide. Neighbors have not been out of their house living in fear of the crime that exists. We know the police department's hands are tied with items like the Blake Law and pursuit laws and leniency in prosecution, and it's great that the South End mayors have taken a firm approach with the state. And the PD is doing a thankless and tireless effort with the same, but as their hands are tied, we need to be doing more as a city and community to thwart this unwanted behavior and activity and think outside the box. When police department reports making contact with over 300 people on the 3rd and Rainier corridor, offering service referrals that it's reported approximately 5 to 10 people took them up on, did Human Services swoop in with any of our service providers who receive funding from the city to come in and offer that navigation service to those people on the streets? Because the chamber did. We reached out to 3 of our nonprofits who immediately hit pavement. When businesses complain about camps and receive pushback for not doing their part, yet discover a large parcel of property in question is city-owned, have we worked with planning or community and economic development to approach this parcel with police so they know how to enforce the public right-of-way? I'm here tonight because the straw broke the camel's back and having to clean blood off the walls of the chamber property. I had to return today and finish cleaning the blood off the property. These cleanups are happening across our cities by businesses and residents. Feces, needles, blood, garbage, and even people. The crime is increasing, and I don't stand here alone. I'm not a lone voice coming from the chamber. We have business representatives behind me. We have residents behind me that are tired of the crime. And while I appreciate that the hands are tied from the state, we need to be doing more as a city to think outside the box with creative solutions and approach towards minimizing and making sure that people know that this activity is not welcome. We've had, 5 homicides this year? Minimum of 5 homicides. We had 3 more shootings this weekend in our community. Not okay. So I'm coming to the council, begging for your help in support of the residents in the community, support of the businesses in the community. The executive director of the Renton Downtown Partnership is here tonight. We are having problems attracting business to our community. We had one individual that was looking at buying a piece of property downtown. They have said they will not come down here as long as the crime exists. Appreciate your time.
All right, next up is Mark DeBose.
Hello, I'm Mark DeVos, and I live in North Renton. As our city and surrounding communities are gripped by surging crime, I want to make a respectful point. We place our trust in government to carry out certain core functions that are necessary for our civilization. Paramount among these responsibilities is an adequately funded and properly administered criminal justice system to protect lives and property. This means a society should have the expectation that certain behaviors will not be tolerated and that persons committing crimes will be apprehended and face consequences for their actions. Compromising and or abandoning that core function neither helps law-abiding citizens who just want to be safe to live and thrive, nor does it help perpetrators by sparing them an intervention that could break a cycle of criminality and destructive behavior. Without a functional criminal justice system, all other forms of justice are compromised. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Next up is the consent agenda. There are 6 items on the consent agenda for council consideration. Are there any that would like to see pulled for separate consideration?
Mr. Mayor, seeing none, I move approval of the consent agenda as published.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President McGurven, second by Councilmember Prince, that the consent agenda be approved as published. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Next on, unfinished business. Council President McGurven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the committee of the whole has one report to present.
Committee of the Whole Committee report. This is regarding the renaming of the Renton Senior Activity Center. The Committee of the Whole recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to amend the June 27, 2022 committee report and approve through the facility renaming process that the Renton Senior Activity Center be renamed the Don Person Renton Senior Activity Center as established in Policy 600-04. This is signed by the Council President.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President McGurven.
I move that the council concur with the committee of the whole report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President McGurven, second by Councilmember Prince, that the council concur with the committee of the whole report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Councilmember Prince,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Perez,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Albertson,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Mr.
and
Mayor, I'm sorry. I forgot that I'm covering for Councilmember Van for Transportation Committee. Transportation Committee has one committee report.
Thanks. Transportation Aviation Committee is regarding a lease agreement with Airborne Aircraft Management, LLC. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the month-to-month lease agreement with Airborne Aircraft Management, LLC. Such authorization will have an initial increased annual economic impact of $82,505.64 and would benefit the city and Airborne Aircraft Management, LLC, respectively, by bringing current the land rental rate earlier than the original lease required. And this is signed by the committee vice chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Prince.
I move that the council concur with the Transportation Committee committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Prince, second by Councilmember Perez, that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. And then Councilmember Rivera.
Yes, we have, the Community Services Committee has 2 reports, the Renton Municipal Arts Commission bylaws and the Renton Equity Commission bylaws.
Okay, the first report is for the Renton Equity Commission bylaws. The Community Services Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the Renton Equity Commission bylaws and adopt the resolution establishing the bylaws as the commission's document for governing of its members and conducting business. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rivera.
I recommend we pass the committee report as recommended by staff.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Rivera, second by Councilmember Albertson, that the council concur with the Community Services Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the final report is regarding the Renton Municipal Arts Commission bylaws. The Community Services Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the revisions and adopt the resolution approving the revisions to the bylaws governing the members of the Renton Municipal Arts Commission. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rivera.
I recommend that we concur with the Renton Municipal Art Committee or Commission bylaws per staff recommendation.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Rivera, second by Councilmember Albertson, that the council concur with the Community Services Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We are on to legislation. We have 2 resolutions for adoption.
Okay, the first resolution is regarding the Renton Equity Commission bylaws. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, adopting the Renton Equity Commission bylaws.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Rivera.
I recommend that we adopt the legislation as recommended by staff.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Rivera, seconded by Councilmember Albertson, that the council adopt the resolution as published. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the second resolution is regarding the amendments to the Municipal Arts Commission bylaws. Resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, adopting the Renton Municipal Arts Commission bylaws.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rivera.
I feel like Councilmember O'Halloran today. I recommend that the council adopt resolution 4477, adopting the Municipal Arts Commission bylaws.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Rivera, seconded by Councilmember Albertson, that the council concur with the resolution as published. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We are on to new business. Council President McGurven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a few meetings to announce. Before I do, I really want to quickly acknowledge members in the audience as far as their concerns on public safety and reassure them that I know these are issues that are being taken very seriously by this council and are being addressed by the administration. It's been an ongoing topic in the Public Safety Committee, including today. It will be the topic of conversation on a future meeting of the Committee of the Whole that staff is gathering information for in preparation for that discussion. My family was a victim. A member of my family was a victim of a violent crime just this about a year ago. So I do understand the feeling and the fear, and I want to acknowledge that and say I understand where you're coming from. So we're committed to doing what we can, and that's my, at least I can speak for myself saying that I am. With that, I do want to also announce our meetings are coming up after that, which is we do have a series of meetings that were canceled due to scheduling, and that's the first one is a council holiday on Monday, August 22nd. On August 29th, it's the fifth Monday, so there will not be a council meeting that day. And then we have Labor Day on Monday, September 5th. Finally, on Monday, September 12th, the Committee of the Whole meeting is canceled just due to, most of us will be remote on that one. And then the council meeting will be occurring at 7 p.m. Here in Chambers and via video conference. And that is all, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Prince.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Planning and Development Committee will be meeting on Monday, September 12th at 5 p.m. In the council conference room and by video conference. We have 3 items on the docket. Docket 17, Group B, Docket 17, Group C, Briefing, and Emerging Issues in CED. And that's all, Mr. Mayor.
All right, Councilmember Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On behalf of Councilmember O'Halloran, I will be announcing that the Finance Committee will be meeting on Monday, September 12, 22 at 4 p.m. in the Council Conference Room and also via video conference. There are 3 items on the agenda: redevelopment management position conversation, vouchers, and emerging issues in finance. And how lucky I am. There are just 3 items on the
Yeah,
finance.
you got real lucky.
Amazing.
So that will be it, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Albertson.
No new business, Mr. Mayor, but if I could, I want to echo Councilmember McIrvin's comments and add one thing. Appreciate everybody coming out. It is a big concern. You know, the whole notion of being creative and thinking out of the box. I'll go one step further. This is just for myself. If anybody has any ideas, anything they've heard of or whatever, I open, this is dangerous, open invitation, send an email to me. Hey, you know what, it may or may not work or whatever, but the more we can actually get minds on different approaches, the faster we may come up with something that is workable or something like that. So I'll offer that just for myself, and thank you for coming out. No more, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Rivera.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so, and I will make a statement also. And I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate the businesses showing up and the residents showing up. Public safety is the most important job of the city, is to provide public safety. We take it extremely serious, to the point where last week, myself with 10 other mayors sent a letter to our legislators and to our county asking them to take a look at what's going on in our community. It is at an epic level. We're very aware of it. It's something that basically I live with all day, every day, and it's something that the police and the police department here are committed to doing everything they can to provide public safety. And we are working behind the scenes to come up with a plan. And we have a number of ideas. There is no magic bullet, so to speak, to fix this issue, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a direction that we can take. The public safety outcry from people is heard, and it's something that we're all taking very seriously, and we all plan on finding ways to make Renton a safer place. So with that, what's the wish of the council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President.
I move that the
McGurk.
council meeting recess into executive session for 30 minutes to discuss potential litigation pursuant to RCW 4230-110 with no official action to be taken, and that the council meeting be adjourned when the executive session is adjourned.
Second.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved that we adjourn into executive session for 30 minutes. No action will be taken afterwards. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're adjourned in executive session.